Why does Tesla rank first in global Tesla sales? Why is the Chinese market, despite how competitive it is, still hungry for even more Teslas? And how on earth could you have a competitive advantage in such a place? Well, it turns out a user by the name of faultbugs on X has some answers based on the actual experience of buying and owning a Tesla in China. That's what we're going to talk about today with my good friend Randy Kirk from
Hello.
Randy Kirk video channel on the tubes of you and the X's of X. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So, this is a really fun read, and it was pretty eye-opening to me. You know what? Before we get to it, why don't I just ask what could possibly make the experience of buying a car different from someone else, from your competitors?
Yeah, I mean, it's already so easy to buy a Tesla. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, unless they give you presents along the way and feed you or something. I mean, we walked because we wanted to test drive one. We went to the local showroom. We walked in. They didn't try to sell us anything. They just answered our questions, gave us the key. Gave us the keys, provided us with an option, a way to drive the test vehicle. We did that. We came back. The gal took us through the app. We were done. A couple of weeks later, we picked up the car. Took about 7 minutes to, you know, turn in our used car, walk over to the car, and drive away. It was like, what?
So my experience, very similar. If you'd like to see the process of me ordering a car, it is in a video. I don't know if it'll be linked because those can be tricky to find, but maybe it'll be linked. It was very, very easy to order. And then over the next few days, they're like, oh, do you want to take pictures of your trade-in so we can tell you what it's worth? But the pickup day itself, it was so wonderful. I walked in, he goes, here's your papers, take your time. And then once I read through it, signed everything, he handed me the keys and my paperwork and said, would you like me to come out and show you how it works? Because I imagine you might already know
Yeah.
because I did. And I said, no, actually, I brought my entourage and they're going to do it for you. So it was great. But let's look at this because this is different. Number one, from the moment you place an order, a WeChat group is created, including salespeople, insurance agents, registration staff, after sales service personnel, and even third parties like vehicle scrapping services. This allows each customer to place an order to instantly communicate any issues, including insurance, registration, and get a timely response.
Wow.
What?
Pretty cool.
What? That's
Next
because
level.
because I've seen people say, yeah, I placed an order and then I got an insurance quote that was like a cajillion dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And finally I found, how to get cheaper insurance. Well, wouldn't it be great if they were all right there in the chat?
Right.
Unbelievable. Uh, Number two, after purchase, you can schedule maintenance repairs through the mobile app. Well, yes, after each service or repair, Tesla China automatically sends out a survey to get your suggestions, opinions, or complaints. And the survey method is used for services like supercharger usage.
Mm.
A
Yeah.
survey after
Yeah.
after
Survey.
after everything.
Yeah.
If any issues arise during the process of purchasing, maintenance, or repair that require complaints or suggestions, you can call the 400 hotline, which is a 24/7 number. Even during Tesla's global layoffs, though the wait may be slightly longer than before, calls are still answered and not left hanging on for an excessively long time.
Hmm.
Huh. Humans
Wow.
at the other end of a phone.
Humans. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's
Every
I
once in a while, I
like
get to talk. Every once in a while, when I'm calling some major corporation, I get to talk to a human if I'm willing to wait 40, 50 minutes.
very fortunate. I did have to change my flight on my last time flying out of town. It was a 2-leg flight. My first leg was delayed by an hour, and they had me pick up a phone that automatically connects to Delta customer service,
Uh-huh.
and a human fixed it. So it was great.
Wow, look at that.
And I was like, oh man, they go, your next flight though leaves in 20 minutes. I go, what gate? And it was the next gate over. I was like, oh, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, because you had one leg in one place and one leg in another place, so that
Right.
would have made it even more harder.
Well, the delay would have meant I missed my second flight, so they put me on a different first and second flight. Number four, If point three doesn't satisfy your needs, you can email the feedback inbox where executives like Tom Zhu and Grace Tao check emails daily and provide timely responses or instruct subordinates to follow up as necessary. So if you've got some
Right.
weird issue that isn't addressed, you can get it addressed. I've got this complaint I brought the car in for 2, 3 times and it's still there. They know who to talk to, and you can get to the right people.
Right.
That's amazing. It can be said that the aforementioned detailed marketing and after sales service are either pioneering or unique on a global scale. In China, the marketing approach point one has been adopted by more and more service providers, including third-party car wrapping service providers, and has been embraced by competitors, becoming the new way cars are just sold.
Wow.
In comparison, marketing and after sales in other industries still follow the outdated traditional methods. You pay, wait for the installer to contact you, call the helpline, and if any problem happens, tough luck. Yeah. Today, my electric clothes rack malfunctioned, and he explains that it took hours to resolve when it should have been simple because they didn't know which model he had and how to address him directly on that issue. So and the whole thing concludes with, so do you understand why Tesla China's sales lead globally? And here you can see this is the volume by country.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means renminbi or what that means, but it means it's a bigger number.
Yeah, and in the U.S., I mean, we already talked about the sales side of it, but even on the service side, I didn't do it, but my wife, basically her car, she took it over to service. I mean, we've had a couple of different situations with service, and so in one case, we had a broken side glass. They came out to the house and fixed it. I mean, it was on the app. They came out to the house and fixed it. No, whatever cost was involved. I don't remember even how that worked. She went over to the service center. You leave the car off. You go in and sit in the waiting room, and you can watch it. I think now you're going to be able to watch it go through. This is the new update, the Christmas update. You're going to be able to see where your car is in the process on your app. And then all of a sudden they call you and say it's time to pick it up. I mean, you don't do anything.
Well, come on, Randy. This company's not doing anything new. That's just the Domino's pizza tracker.
I see. Okay.
Your pizza is in the oven. No, it's nothing new. Come on. When I took my car to the dealer, what a nightmare that was. Oh my gosh. I had warranty repairs and not Tesla. This was with Dodge, with Dodge. And what a nightmare it was. When I pulled in, there was no parking. And I went to the garage and said, where am I supposed to put the car? He goes, I don't know, just park it. And I go, there is no parking. He goes, try the overflow lot. So I went to the overflow lot and there was no parking. So I just pulled up in front of one of the service bays and walked into the service manager to just say, I'm dropping off the car. And the service tech came in and screamed that he's going to tow my car. I'm like, okay, yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'd love to. I mean, what on earth are we doing here? You old so-and-so.
Yeah, I know.
So my whole point with this, Randy, is if the competition arrives in other markets, in Europe, which it appears to be, in the US, which does not appear to be, is this something they could roll out wider?
Oh yeah, it looks to me. I mean, none of that is brain surgery. I mean, it sounds like very nice and very easy things to do. And as to your kind of implied point, it's amazing that all industry doesn't do that in order to capture and hold clients.
It's not like I'm asking you to reinvent the whole process, which at Ford or GM or Volkswagen, you would have to reinvent the process.
Right.
There is no pre-ordering those cars. You have to go in, you have to deal with the guy with $1,000 watch, $10,000 watch, putting the screws to you about rust proofing.
Right.
None of that. This Tesla doesn't have to invent anything. It's already there. They just need to copy from themselves.
Yes.
And I think that that's something we could see in coming months or years as the market demands it. Yeah.
I'm good.
So, Randy has permitted me to say these things. which is great. What I would add, while I can, is to say, if you haven't already, do this thing, because that's how my channel grows. It's how advertisers know that I'm legit. It's how vendors, it's how companies, big and small, know that I am worth their time. There are some people I've worked with in the past who still think I'm a low level influencer because apparently this sells lifestyle vacations to them. I have not been sponsored by Gucci. I'm sure that's coming soon. But like, subscribe, do what you do. What did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What do you think of this model? And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots over on Randy's channel in the comments, where I often read them and respond.